Hey, how you doing? Good, guys. All right. I take a little water break. So this is LaQueen Terry Battle coming here from Onondaga Community College here in upstate New York in the city of Syracuse. So hurrah to all my family and friends in downstate in the South, as well as in Illinois, Chicago, Texas, LA, Florida, Atlanta, wherever you are, my friends and family, as well as to my brothers and my friends serving in the military forces here domestically and around the world. Shout out to my brother, Lakeem Jemiah Harris, currently serving in the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! And also to my friend, Charleston Burke. Thank you, God. Thank you, Charleston, that your life is getting better as well as I feel like I can say this with you guys. My life is changing as well as your life is changing. So shout out to you, Charleston. Your sissy from elementary school in Fort Texas that Carolyn Cathedral loves you. And to my friend Natalie from Dean, thank you for being my friend here with Charleston now as well. So I'm sure we all trio compadres are going through the same situation. So shout out to my friend Charleston Burke and my Bubba Lakeem Jemiah Harris, and also to my uncle, half uncle or uncle, Manzi Clay, and to his kids currently serving the United States Navy and the United States National Guard. Thank you for your service as well. And a shout out to all the Army people, my Aunt Arlene, cousin Aunt Arlene Mercer, who served in the United States Army, my grandpapa, who served in the United States Army, and to all the people who have served here domestically as well as in past previous wars here and abroad around the world. So thank you. All right, thank you for your service, and thank you for continuing to serve and protect our nation here and abroad the world. All right, kudos to the military. So, as I was talking about a part one in our series of who I am and what is my name, I was pretty much going through everything that I went through in 2019, especially in 2019, and it had a lot to do with moving and traveling different cities, and pretty much people said, I couldn't do that, I can't travel. I'm like, what are people saying I can't do? Why are people saying I'm cheap? Why are people saying I'm poor? Let's sit down here. Let me sit down. All right. So everything that I went through last year, as you guys can see, everything that I went through last year, people kept telling me, I can't do that. I'm poor. I'm broke. I'm a Black woman. I'm a nigger. I can't do that. Part of my French. I'm a poor Black girl. I can't do that. I'm like, what are people talking about? She's single. She needs a man. She needs a man. She needs a man. She can't do that. She can't do that. I'm like, what are people talking about? I understand what people are talking about. She needs permission. She needs a Black woman and Black man to do that. She needs to call her grandma to do that. I'm like, what are people talking about? What are people talking about? I don't understand what's going on. I'm a grown adult. I'm in my 30s. Have 3 college degrees. I still don't understand what people are talking about. This is what people are talking about right here. Traveling. Poor, broke, no man. A white boy can do that. A white girl can do that. A Mexican, Asian girl can do that, but I, as a Black female, I can't do that. What's going on with that issue? Right here. Traveling, just right here. And over the summer of 2019, starting in May of last year in 2019, I lost my job in about working for Lyft. I quit in about April, May. Since then, since May of last year in 2019, I have not had a job, and I have been homeless and poor. But that has not stopped me from pursuing my dreams and goals. And I did this last year. I made the decision to change my life and made the decision to stop relying on people and made the decision to stop living in the ghetto, stop living my life on a man, stop living my life depending on people. I have the choice of who I am. I don't have to choose to live in the city. I don't have to choose on the side of town. I can be whoever I want to be. I'm in control of my destiny because I can move. I can move. And like I said, before, you as a young person or as a grown adult, even in your elderly, 85 years old, even a grown person, an elderly person, 85, 90 years old, you still have control of your life. You still have these right here. It may not be the keys to a car. It may not be the keys to a house. It may not be the keys to a door, but it may be the keys to your spirit. It may be the keys to a window. And it may not necessarily be a door, but it may be a window that can lead you out of your life. And so everything I went through in 2019, it always let me know that I have what? I have what? I have these, and I have this. And what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that I have this right here. That's what it means. That's what it means. It means that I always have control. And, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is LaQueen Arlene Terry Battle. I go by Terry here in Syracuse. As you guys know me, maybe call me by Queen. I am a certified medical assistant, phlebotomist. I have 3 degrees, 1 as a medical assistant in 2011, 2 as associates in humanities, Spanish and liberal arts in 2016, and a bachelor's of humanities in Spanish and arts in 2018 from Purdue University. I have 3 degrees, 3 college degrees. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a tutor. I'm not in medical field. I'm out on these streets hustling. But I have been to over 30 cities, and I have left relationship after relationship, man after man, job after job, just trying to make ends meet. But it always let me know, no matter where I have gone, it doesn't matter who I am or how much money I have, if I'm in a relationship with a man or not, or cousin, whoever it is trying to put their influence over me. It always let me know that I always have. That's right. These letters right here. These 8 letters. C-O-N-T, 7, 8 letters. C-O-N-T-R-O-L. C-O-N-T-R-O-L. And then on top of that, I'm a Democrat. I was born in Texas, but I'm a Democrat. I lived in Chicago, Illinois for the last 6 years, but I'm also a Democrat. So I support a Black man in a red state. I support a black man as president in a country that is full of red. I support this man, the 44th president of the United States. The 44th president of the United States. I support Barack Obama. I supported him throughout the whole his birth certificate issue. I supported him when he was running for president in 2008 for Texas at the Dallas Convention Center when he came to over 20,000 people. 50,000 people came to see him, the nation's first Black president, when he was at the Dallas Convention Center and the Fort Worth Convention Center as well, when he made his speech to contend for president in the Fort Worth Convention Center, the Dallas Convention Center in 2007, 2006, when Barack Obama was running for president. I was like 2019. I was really fat then, but I still supported Barack Obama then, and I support him now. Even though we may not agree on some of the same policies or whatever, him as a president, he's the first official Black president, but him as a man living in a country that's mainly predominated by conservative white men, I still support him as a Black man. He may be mixed, he may be biracial, he may be from Hawaii, he may be from Turkestan, he may be from Nigeria, he may be from Kenya, he may be from South America, he may be from the South Pole, the North Pole, he may be from Tokyo, Japan, he may be from Australia, wherever Barack Obama is from, that it really doesn't matter to me at all. That doesn't matter to me at all wherever Barack Obama is from. What matters to me is that he supported change in our society. He supported going forward in your life. He supported a change to Medicare insurance for people who constantly rely on government to support them. He supports people having to have government nationalized insurance, not just Medicaid, but actually pay lower costs for insurance. And I do support him on that. I do support Obamacare. Because there are a lot of people out there that cannot afford Medicaid is too high for them. Their income is too high for Medicaid, and they can't get other sources of insurance, public insurance, because it's just not in their income pool. So I do support Barack Obama through a lot of his issues. Maybe not all of his policies and issues, but I do support him as a president. But there are a lot of issues that Barack Obama, as well as a lot of issues that are going on currently in the current administration with Trump, the current President Trump, I really do not support. But he is still the commander in chief, And I, as a military service member, have to always uphold that, always have to honor, respect it, even though I may not agree on it, even though I may see him on TV and he may be related to a lot of issues, even though I may hear him say La Queen Battle a couple of times on TV. How did the name of La Queen Battle come out of President Trump's mouth? How did the name of La Queen Battle come out of President Trump's two lips? How did the name of La Queen Battle come out of President Donald J. Trump's lips? I only got 20 subscribers on your YouTube. Well, somebody in his administration are a lot of churches that have been to support him in his policies. So I probably do need a lawyer. Anyway, so thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about that, as well as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and Prince William, and what's going on in the country of England, the United Kingdom, with Ireland, Scotland, and England combined, all their territories, Africa and Europe, South America, Australia, and all what's going on in the politics of what's going on in the UK right now, because there might actually never be they're thinking about tarnishing the royal family and their leadership. A lot of people are saying the royal family is old. Oh, that is old. A lot of people over the years have been saying that royalty issue is so old. There's so much changes going on in the world. We don't need a royal family anymore. Even the people in the United Kingdom say we don't need a royal family anymore. People have been talking about this for years and years and years. We don't need a royal family anymore. Our taxes are not supporting this institution of royal monarchies. Patriarchies. We don't support this institution. We don't need a royal family anymore. A lot of people have been talking this for over 5, 10, 20, 30, 60 years. It's so old, but there still is a royal family in England, and there are plenty of royal families around the world, whether the public, the British public, or the American public, or the world public agrees to it or not. There's always going to be a royal family, maybe in England, maybe in Monaco or Japan or Africa, wherever they are around the world. There's always going to be a royal family of somebody for people to look up to and honor. That's just how it is. Not necessarily, it may not be the Pope, it may not be the President of the United States, it may not be a lawyer, a singer, an artist, but there's always going to be somebody in charge that people look up to and hold that is able to make the laws and the rules for our nation and kingdom. So, like I was talking to what I went through in 2019 right here. Thank you to my one listener. Everything I went to in 2019, I've traveled to over 30 different cities looking for work. I lost over 100 pounds, 125 pounds. I went down from 275 to 280, and now I'm like 175, 170, almost 160 pounds right now. And then I also never gave up. I never gave up. Everything I went through, I never gave up. So after everything that I went through in 2019, after everything that I went through in 2019, it ends up turning out to be that I may or I may not be a royal. That everything that I went through, that turns out I may be related to, or maybe even overly related to the Queen of England herself. Not just Prince Harry, not just Prince William, but actually maybe royally, officially, but there still are books and books and books. There still are lines and lines and lines of lineage and lineage. Even trying to find your genealogy as a Native American, as a Cherokee Indian, even trying to find your genealogy as a Cherokee Native American, you still have to go through books and books and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages. It's called the Royal Dawes Act. As a Native, has finding your true Native American genealogy as finding if you're a Cherokee or not. It has nothing to do with DNA testing. That's what they're saying. If you want to prove to see if you are a real Native American, Cherokee Native American, you have to go to the nation of the Cherokee Indians national website. And it says on the Cherokee The National Association of Native Cherokee Americans, it says on their national website, as if you want to figure out if you are a real Cherokee, if you are a real Cherokee Indian, you actually have to go through pages and pages and pages as a Cherokee Indian. As a Cherokee Indian to figure out if you are a Native American, not related to the Queen of England. If you are a Native American, to figure out, and you cannot take a DNA test to prove you are a Cherokee Indian. They will not allow that. To prove that you are a Native American, they will not allow you to take a DNA test. Let me say that one more time. If you want to prove that you are a Native American, a DNA test will not prove that you are an official Native American. It says so on the national website of Cherokee Native Americans, on their national website. What it does say on the Cherokee, the Cherokee National official website to figure out if you are a Cherokee Indian, it says that you have to go all the way back to the 1800s to your family's genealogy of the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s. You have to figure out as a Native American, you have to go what is called the Dawes Act. DAWES. And you have to go through the DAW, find out if your relatives, you have to at least have one or two relatives that were listed, written down by the United States government that had official Native American land that is registered in the Dawes Act from the 1600s and the 1700s to prove if you are an official Native American. And a DNA test, they will not accept a DNA test. The only way that you can prove if you are a Cherokee Indian is by this right here. This is the only way that you can prove if you are a Cherokee Indian. This right here. That is the only way that you can prove if you are an officially registered Cherokee Indian. By this. And the Native American tribe by the United States government will not accept a DNA test to prove if you are a Native American. So imagine that you have to go the hoops of proving if you are a Native American. Imagine the hoops that you have to go through to prove if you are related to the Queen of England herself. And the Cherokee Nation dates back way back to the founding of the United States. Now imagine if the Cherokee Indians and the Native Americans go back to the founding of the United States in 1776 and the 1700s. And the Queen of England, her founding goes all the way back to the founding of Christ. Imagine how many of these I have to go through. How many people I have to go through. To prove if I'm related to the Queen of England. And you know what? A DNA test probably is only going to be about 10% accurate. Because if you are related to a royal dynasty, it has to be written down. It has to be written down, number one. Number two, It has to be controlled in some kind of way. They have to have control over something. They have to have the control over a region, a land, some kind of a war. Your family has to have been in something that has been have to have government control. Your family has to have been in a war. Your family has to have been served a royal somebody. Your family has to have control over something. Number 2. And number 3, it has to be in stone. And that right there is a key. And it's not always necessarily about marrying a royal, because a lot of people think, oh, if I marry a prince, if I marry a duke, if I marry a person, that makes me a royal person. And that is not necessarily the truth, because the king before Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, her father in this movie right here, this movie, the King's Speech, even though this is before the Queen's father was thrown, the King's Speech, copyright to the King's Speech, and was it 2011 copyright? But even before Her Majesty was born, her father's brother had to denounce himself as King of England. He had to denounce his title as the future King of England, because he married not a commoner, he married a American divorcee. So because the Queen's father, the Queen's uncle, not her father, Queen Elizabeth, but because the Queen's uncle married a more American divorcee, and she was an actress, according to society and according to royal customs. Now they've changed that in the new millennium, but according to royal customs back in the early 1925, 1930s or whatever, it wasn't even recently, but because of royal customs and royal attitudes, people think, oh, I'm a Hollywood actress. Oh, I'm a millionaire. I have millions of dollars, so therefore I have the right to marry a King of England. No, you do not, honey. No, you do not. Because when you join into this family, when you join into this dynasty, you are joining into a nation. So you think that just because I marry this rich man, I have my life made. No, honey. No, you don't. No, you don't have your life made. Because not only he has control over you, not only do the money have control over you, honey, but the people have control over you. The people have. And so when you marry a king, when you marry a prince, when you marry a duke, you also marry his people. You also marry his family. You marry his people, you marry his family, and you marry everything that that man has physically, as well as everything that man has control over. And so any of those entities around the world have control over you, honey. All of those entities around the world, around this country, around this region, around all the territories around the world. You think that you have control over these territories, honey? No, 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 no. That's not how it works. These territories and these countries have control over, and it's nothing new. And William Shakespeare cannot, and his company and his friends and his people cannot have written enough plays, cannot have written enough books around the world. There have not been as many books, as many plays written around the world about the royal family of England for Shakespeare to write during his time. For Leonardo da Vinci to draw as many paintings as during his time, for people to know what the royal family of England really is. So when you marry into a man, and when that man is king of a country, You marry into that man, you marry into his title, you marry into his land, and you marry into his people. And not only that man has control over you, and not only does that man's money have control over you, not only does that man's territory have control over you, but that man's people have. And honey, you are very easily replaceable. It has been done time and time and time and time again, over and over. And it may not be a white man, it may be a black man, it may be an African man, it may be a Chinese man, it may be a Japanese man, it may be an Australian man, it may be a Spanish man, it may be a Mexican man. It has been done time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. And so when you're getting involved into politics, when you're getting involved into royalty lineages, when you get involved and you may think that, okay, oh, I'm marrying a politician, oh, I'm marrying this rich man. That is not necessarily the case, because you're marrying everything that that man has. You're marrying into that man's system, that man's financial resources. You're married into all that man's resources, all that woman's resources, all your partner's resources. And everything that your partner has resources over, you also have. But at the same time, all those resources are yours. But also at the same time, those resources that your partner has control you, especially if those resources are made of members and people of a country, of a nation, and of a kingdom. Of a kingdom. And especially when you're going back to 1022 AD, 1,000 years after the birth of Christ, 1,000 years after King James' Bible was written, when the printing press, the Gutenberg printing press was invented, when the King James Bible was translated and written, when you're going all the way back to 1022 AD, 1019 AD, all the way back to the town of Battle, when they were fighting the Battle of Hastings, when the King William the First of England and the King Harold of France were fighting for control over England, over a dynasty, over a people. You really have to think, am I marrying this man for his money, or am I marrying this man for his country, for his kingdom? And a lot of women cannot take, especially like Princess Diana. She divorced Prince Charles and she still cannot deal with all the public stress upon her life just by marrying a royal man. And she had people, royals in her family all the way back. Her brother was an earl. Prince Diana's brother was an earl. Her brother was a royal. And Prince Diana divorced the future King of England, and her as a divorced royal still cannot deal with the public's expectations of her as a divorced woman. Princess Diana could not deal with the public, not the queen, not Queen Elizabeth, Her Majesty. Princess Diana herself could not deal with the public. Princess Diana could not deal with the public, and that's why it led to her death. And that's what you have to understand. When you are marrying a man of high status, when you are marrying a man of royalty, when you are marrying a man of presidential powers, of presidential position, of kingdom positions, of queendom positions, your partner, your mate, your male or a female, whoever you're marrying, when you marry a person of high status, you're marrying into that person's resources, into that person's people. And so that person's resources become your person's. That person's pressure becomes your pressure. And you take on whatever that person's going through, and it becomes you. And even though that person may be in and out of the house every single day, in and out of the house every single week, that doesn't matter. Because that person's a traveler, and the people come to you for help. And the people come to you for assistance. That person's out of the country. That person's out about doing whatever they want to do about their business. But you have to take on that person's responsibility, because the people, the public, rely on you, because you are in the stance for your mate. And Princess Diana herself could not deal with that pressure. I divorced this man. I divorced myself from the royal family. Why am I still going through this? Why am I still going through this pressure? Why can't I have my own life? Why can't I date the own man that I want to date? Why can't I live my own life? Why can't I live my own life? I'm divorced. I'm divorced. Well, I'm divorced from this family. I'm divorced from this position. I don't want this position anymore. Well, you know what, Diana? You still are our princess. You still are the people's princess. We still need you. We still want you. We still love you. You still are our princess. You are our people's princess. We still love you. But at the same time, we still love you. But at the same time, we still want you. At the same time, we still love you. At the same time, we still need you. We need you. We want you, Diana. And you could, I divorced this man. Why is my life being like this? I'm tired. I am tired. But the public, not the royal family, not the Queen Elizabeth, not Prince Charles himself, the public, the general public, the British people, the people around the world still wanted Diana. They still needed Diana. We want you. We need you. You can't go anywhere. You're our princess. And so even though she divorced from this family, from this man, she didn't divorce herself from the public. She didn't divorce herself from her role. And when you marry into a family like that, when you marry a man or a female or a person of high position, you don't divorce them and say, I want to go somewhere, my life is over. You are in that role for life. You may not be with that person forever, but you are in that role for life. That is your job for life. And like what's going on right now with Prince Albert. The Queen took away all his royal titles because of his involvement with Harvey Weinstein, or whatever's going on in the United States with fraud and all that stuff. Even though Prince Albert has been denounced of all his titles, his role and his responsibilities may still be the same. He was denounced from his titles. He was fired by his brother, Prince Charles, and by the Queen, Her Majesty, but the public still needs him to do what he's supposed to do. His businesses still need him to do what he's supposed to do. Money needs to be made. People need him. The public needs him. And so when you marry into a position like that, you marry to somebody like that for life. For life. And people, they don't understand that. They just don't understand that. A little bit forward here. And even into politics. President Obama, he's not President Obama for 4 years. He's not President Obama for 8 years. He's President of the United States for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. President Trump is not president for 4 years. President Trump is president of the United States for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. And so he may go out of the country and he may try to get away from the public, but you know, wherever he goes around the world, President Obama, President Trump, President Clinton, President Bush, President Carter, you know, all these past presidents as well, wherever they go around the world, they are still president of the United States for the rest of their life. For the rest of their life. And you don't understand that. People, they don't understand that. They think that, okay, I'm in this public position. Okay, I'm in this royal position. I married this duke. I married this prince. I live happy ever after. My life is good. My life is gravy. I'm in control. I have money for the rest of the life. I'm set. My life is set. My mood is set. My life is set. I'm rich for the rest of my life. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to work. I can just sit around and be rich for the rest of my life. Well, honey, that is not how it works. Honey man, honey girl, honey man, honey girl, Honey, man, especially that is not how it works. Even Liberace, he had a boyfriend, he had a partner. And even when Liberace from the 70s and 80s, even when Liberace, the famous musician, died, his partner was still going through all this traumatic experience, all this plastic surgery, and he would have to do that for the rest of his life just because he knew and had a relationship with that man. Liberace, the famous piano musician from the 80s and 70s. Now, you may think that I may marry a royal, a prince or a princess, and I'm a commoner, and I'm rich, and I'm a commoner. I'm famous, and I'm rich, and I'm popular, and I'm a commoner. And I'm coming into this brand new country. I'm coming into this brand new country in England, in Europe, in Japan, in Asia, in Russia. And I'm beautiful. I have long blonde hair. I'm beautiful. I'm famous. I'm rich. And I don't have to do anything but be rich and be famous and be beautiful. Well, honey, that is not how it works. Because when you marry a man or a woman of position and status, you also marry everything they have control over. And when you marry into an institution, that institution controls you. And you have to abide by everything that institution says, all the rules of that institution, all the regulations of the institution, and also all the legal regulations of that institution. And so you may think I'm rich, I'm popular, I'm famous, I'm skinny, I'm fat, whatever it is your customs allow you to. But when you marry into that institution and you divorce from that institution, you may think, I'm tired, I'm done, I'm over with. But that is not how it works, honey. That is not how it works. Honey man, honey girl, that's not how it works. Because you may be divorced from that institution, but that institution itself controls you. It controls your name. It controls your family as well for the rest of your life. And you may think, oh, I'm going to divorce this man. I'm tired of this. I don't want no more. Even Wallis Simpson, when she married the king, the future king of England, when Wallis Simpson married King, I think it was King Edward, the future king of England. I think when Wallis Simpson married him, she didn't know that he would dethrone himself. She thought, okay, I'm Wallis Simpson. I'm a famous American actress, and I'm going to be the next queen of England, honey. Well, that's not necessarily how it works. And I'm Camilla, and I'm rich, and I'm pretty, and I'm a socialite. I'm going to marry Prince Charles. I'm Camilla Charles Barker, and I'm going to marry Prince Charles and become the next future king of England, become the next future wife and queen of England. Well, honey, Your Majesty Camilla, that is not how it works. Because the public controls the institution. The institution controls the family. The family may have a say-so, but that institution itself controls the family and the institution, and the public controls that institution. And it doesn't not necessarily have to do anything with tax dollars. It's the public itself that controls the institution. And even like I said before, Princess Diana when Princess Diana divorced Prince Charles, she thought, I'm done. My life is over. I'm tired of this family. I'm tired of these rules. I'm tired of having to have a man cheat in front of me, have women come in and out every single day out of my home. And I gave this man two sons, and he still is cheating on me. He still is disrespecting me. Well, honey, I'm sorry. That's just how it is. And your sons may need his father, but at the same time, honey, Your Majesty, Princess Diana, the public needs you. And when she divorced Prince Charles, she thought, okay, my life is better. I can travel. I can date whoever I wanted today. I can marry whoever I want to. Well, honey, that's not the way it works, because you gave birth to two new members of our institution. And because you gave birth to these two members of this institution, and because you are the mother of two members of our institution, therefore you are in this institution for life, honey. And we control you for the rest of your life. The institution controls you for the rest of your life. I divorced this man. I divorced Prince Charles. I can have my own life, honey. Well, that's not how it works. I hope I'm not disrespecting anybody right now. Rest in peace, Princess Diana. Rest in peace. But I love Diana as well. But just because you marry and divorce a royalty does not mean you have your life back. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Because you will be on the media, you will be in historical books. You will be in the books for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. And people will talk about you even after you die. But I divorced this man, I divorced this family. I want my life back. That's not how it works. Once you are in the books, you are in the books. Once you are in the books for marrying this man, you are in the books for the rest of your life. And if you are put under public scrutiny, if anything negative happens in public, and you did anything negative against an institution or against a family during your livelihood, this will also go against you and anybody you're related to or connected to. So you have to understand, when you are marrying a royal, when you are marrying a man or a woman of high status, you are marrying into history. And you may not like your family from America, like Wallace Simpson did. You may denounce your family as white or black. You may denounce the people you used to know, but that's not how it works, honey. Because after you die, those people still will try to get after the money. But your name's in the books, yeah. And you lived and died. That's how it works. You live and you give birth and you die. And even after you die, the public, the people and stuff still want the money. That's how it works. You're marrying into an institution. You're marrying into an institution. You're marrying into a people. You're marrying into a public. And so people don't understand. Like Meghan Markle, I don't think her friends, I don't think the public, I don't think who she associated with really let her know. Like seriously, I'm seriously marrying the future king of England. Like I'm seriously marrying a royal man. I'm seriously marrying into an institution. Like seriously, like, oh, this man is rich and I gave birth to his son. Well, that's good and dandy and everything, but you're still marrying into this, honey. You're not marrying that man. You're not giving birth to that baby. You're marrying into this. 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 You're marrying into the history of Christ, the Passion of the Christ. You're marrying into the history of China, the last emperor. You're marrying into the history of the Civil War with Gone with the Wind. You're marrying into the books. And so people think, oh, okay, I can leave this man, I can divorce this man. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this institution. I'm tired of these rules. I'm tired of these regulations. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. I'm just so tired. I can't do this anymore. I can't handle the stress. I'm crying. Oh, I'm so exhausted. Please come and protect me. Please come and protect me. I need protection. I need federal protection. I need police protection. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this, honey. No. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You're not the only one who's been through this before. His mother went through this, and his mother divorced his father. His grandfather, his great uncle went through this, and his great uncle denounced his throne. If they can handle this in the past, you can handle this, honey. And Princess Diana did not have anybody but herself. When Princess Diana went through this, she didn't have nobody but her. She had to sit back there, smile, and look pretty. And said, this man is messing with my life. And kids, as you know, even the kids in the kids' books know, oh, I'm happy, I'm popular. Are you kids? Are you kids? You know, I'm popular on social media. I'm dating this popular musician. I'm dating this rock star. Honey, you're not dating the rock star. You're dating his money. You're dating his manager. You're dating his mother. You're dating his father. And you may think like, oh, I'm dating this man. I got the money. I got it made. Honey, that's not how it works, teenager. That's not how it works. You're married into everything this guy has, everything this musician has, everything he represents. You're married into his record label. You're married into his manager. You're married into the business. The family business. And people don't know how it is. And that's what my father told me. He's like, look, Queen, keep it in the family. That's how it is. You keep it in the family. You don't talk about you don't talk about the family business. All my life, I heard, don't tell the family business. Don't tell the family business. Don't tell family business. Don't tell family business. Don't tell family business. Don't tell family business. My father told me that growing up all my life. But you know what? I had to learn. That's just the way it is. My father had a business, Pounds Electronics. I'm like, okay, Pounds Electronics. And now I think to myself, I may be related to the Duke of Sussex himself. So I'm actually coming into this now in my mid-30s, but people have known about this a long time ago. A long, long time ago. Is she or isn't she? No or yes, no or yes. Well, you know, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that I'm here today, and what matters is that it's a new day. It's a new decade. And being related, even as a Native American, you have to go through this. To be proven as a Native American, you have to go through this. Now imagine, even to be prove yourself, it's not a DNA test. It's not a DNA test. You have to go through this. Now, even just for this as a Native American, all this as a Native American, imagine what about this? The Duke of Sussex is proven related to the Duke of Sussex. Imagine what I have to go through as this. And so everything I've been through, and then I'm gonna keep going down here. I got about maybe 2 more minutes left in the library. Thank you for my listeners. Thank you to my tuber listeners. Thank you. All the issues that I've been going through from 2019, 2020, and now I'm going through more issues where like, what's my name? Who am I? Now I'm going through, I'm looking on TV, I'm hearing people talk about, look, Queen battle this, look, Queen battle that. I'm like, do I need a lawyer? Do I need a lawyer? And then I'm seeing on TV, I'm seeing on bulletin boards, I'm seeing on the internet, and I'm seeing on the internet selling backpacks called the Queen backpacks in Poland. And now I'm seeing and when my son was born in 2011, I saw on a big billboard advertisement called the Battle of LA. It was just put Queen in there. I mean, I should get some money. And then here in upstate New York, in Buffalo and Syracuse, now I'm finding this beer company called Battle LA from the 70s, a Canadian beer company called Bat LA, BATTLA, Bat LA, Blue. And then I'm going through a bar soap at Walmart, and that bar soap says Queen Bee. A bar lotion, a bath soap at Walmart called Queen V. And then in the 70s and 80s, there was a UK rock band named Queen, Freddie Mercury and Queen. And then I was Googling, and then I was seeing on TV on Jimmy Kimmel, there's a group called The Battles. Here in 2019, 2020, there's actually a group of a couple of white guys called The Battles. BATTLES. The Battles. I'm a battle. They're the Battles. And not one of those guys' last name is Battle. There's a rock band called Battle, and not one of those guys' last name is Battle. So I'm going through everything that I'm going through. I'm like, what is going on? What do my human eyes see? What do my eyes see? What do I see? What do I think? And what do I perceive? What's the situation I'm going through every day of my life? And what do I see? And what do I believe is reality for me? And what is reality for me may not be reality for a lot of people as well. So what's real to me may not be real to everybody. And so you have to think about that when you're dealing with a lot of peer pressure, especially teenagers in school or in public. You know, you have friends or whatever, you have associates like, yeah, let's do what we want to do. And like, I'm tired. I'm like, no, you better put on makeup and you better get your hair and shoes done. Please wear makeup and please have your hair and nails and toes done. So all these situations I'm going through in my life, I'm like, why am I going through all this peer pressure? This is what they see, and this is what I believe. This is what they want from me, but what do I want for myself? This is them, and this is me. And even Meghan Markle, who's now the Duchess of Sussex, her royal title, she has to think to herself like, okay, what do they want from me, or what do I want for myself? I'm pregnant, this shirt is tight. Okay. So, as a wife of a future king of England, he may not be the next in line to the throne, but he still is a future king of England. Prince Harry may not be the official next man to be king of England. He may not be the next in line to the throne, but he is still a future king of England, a future king. She said, oh, he's just a prince. No, he's a future king. Ready and always available. Ready and always available. So when she thinks, okay, you know what? I have this man, I have his child, I have this man. Oh, my life is great. Oh, my life is made. I got it made. Oh, I got it made. I don't have to think about my family back in LA or the States. I don't have to think about people think I'm white or black. Oh, my life is great. I got it made. No, honey, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Because you marry this man and you marry into the institution. This is you and this is the institution. And so you marry into the institution. I know. This is you and this is the institution. And the institution is not your friend. This is you, and this is the institution. And this institution, these rules, these regulations, these responsibilities that you have as a wife of a future king of England, this is the institution, and this institution is not your friend. This institution is not your friend. We are not your friend. We are rules and we are customs and we are regulations, and this is how we want things done, and this is how it's going to be. And you can say no and you can say yes to it. This is just the way things that we want things done, and this is how it's going to be, and this is the way it always will be. And it's not about a president, it's not about conservative or Democrat, it's not about conservative or Republican, red or blue. It's just how it is. So when you marry into this man and when you marry into his family, you marry into this institution, you marry into these regulations, you marry into these rules, and you have a responsibility. And if you do not fulfill these responsibilities right here, if you do not do what we tell you to do, if you do not fulfill our duties and our roles and our obligations, there's only one way for you to go. And it's not to divorce somebody. You cannot divorce yourself from the royal family. You are in the royal family for life. You can divorce them through a court of law, but you cannot divorce yourself from the royal family. You cannot go away from us. You are in us for life. You either live or you die with us. That's just how it is. And not many people understand it. I don't think even Princess Diana could not understand that herself. And people all around the world cannot understand, like, I married a man of rich status. I gave birth to his son, his daughter. Well, just because you gave birth to his son and daughter doesn't mean that you have your life back. No, it means that you marry into that man and everything that man has, you marry to that man's name. And that man's name becomes your name for the rest of your life. And so you have women like Ivanka Trump, and you have women like Marvel Maples who become Trump's ex-wives and become the mother of his children. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they get their lives back. They still carry the Trump name for the rest of their lives. They cannot go anywhere without people mentioning Donald Trump. They cannot go away from the rules and regulations of that family and of the Trump-Hines dynasty. Because if you marry into a dynasty, you marry into everything that dynasty has, its corporations and everything it controls. And you also marry into the rules and regulations every time you see your children, every time you make contact with the father of your children, you marry into that dynasty, the Trump-Hines dynasty. And people don't understand, especially when you give birth to a man of high status, children. You think, oh, I gave birth to his children. I want my money. Let me leave in peace. No, honey, that's not how it works. You don't just give birth to a prince's baby and you can have your life back and you're set for the rest of your life. That's not how it works. Because you may think, oh, I gave birth to this man. I have your baby and I can get access to my baby anytime I want to. No, 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 honey. That's not how it works. Because then that institution becomes your child's mother. And therefore you become oppositional to this institution because 5 minutes? 20. Okay, thank you. She's so nice. You become oppositional to this institution because you don't understand, why can I not see my child? I gave birth to my child. Why can I not see my child? Because this institution controls your child. We are in control of your child now. You don't have no access to the road. These are the rules and these are the regulations. You have to do what we tell you to do or else. I don't understand. This is my child I gave birth to. No, you gave birth to us. You gave us what we wanted. You're done. That's it. It's over. Are you serious? Yes, it's over. And I'm sure Kate Middleton does not have access to her children anytime she wants to. I'm sure there are plenty of rules and regulations that Kate Middleton, as the wife of Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, has to go through, even to have contact with her children. She may have access to them 24/7, but there are still rules and regulations that need to be done in order for her to, number one, carry on the family line, and number two, be wife to a future King of England. And these are the rules and regulations that not many people understand. You think that you could just divorce the King of England and leave. No, honey, he's going to chop your head off. He's going to kill you. Idi Amin in South Africa. Number one, hey, Idi Amin. King Henry the Eighth. Is that King Henry the Eighth? It's been done before. That's not how it works. Okay. This is the institution and this is you, honey. You're underneath. The institution is always first. The institution is first. You are behind the institution. Even for Catherine and Meghan, the primary role, their goal is to carry on heirs. That's their primary goal, is to birth the heirs of the family. That's their primary goal. That's what the institution wants. That's what the public wants. The public is the institution, and there are leaders of the institution of the public elects for to govern the institution. So their primary, even though they may be commoners, their primary roles is not to be wives to these future kings of England. Is not to have money, to rich, and to look good. No, 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 honey. Their primary goal, above all else, is to bear their children. That's what the institution wants. And secondly, their primary goal is them to be wife. That's how it works. That's how it works today, and that's how it always has worked. And like you see in the books, in William Shakespeare, if you don't give birth to an heir, you must Okay. King Henry, time and time again, it's been done before. And I'm not comparing myself to anybody. I'm just telling you how the institution works. Now, it's just the institution. It's public institutions. It's always been that way. She gave me her number, so I really appreciate it. Thank you to my two listeners. So, as a commoner myself, when I think to myself, I may be related to the Duke of Sussex. I may be, people have been calling me off and on, you're royal, like you're royal, honey. No, I don't know. I know that it's a lot. Well, it actually has already been confirmed, and like, what am I doing here? And I'm dumb and stupid. I'm really, really dumb and stupid. And I'm ugly. And my hair is cheap, and I'm black, and I'm poor. No, honey. I still have to follow the rules. There are charities and there are foundations. There are charities and there are foundations, but you know what? Just because you have a charity and just because you have a foundation, it doesn't necessarily mean that you still have control. A charity does not have to have control over an institution. A charity does not have control over a public. A charity gives out money, but you know what? A charity does not have control over the institution. The institution controls the wife. The institution controls the children. The institution controls the king and queen and the future king and queen. This is the institution. And it has always been that way and always will be. So sorry to offense for those who don't like pigs. No offense. Piglet, he's really nice. But this is the way it has been in 2019, 2020. And this is the way it always will be. It's just how it is. This is in the British public. Now imagine in the American public, you have a sitting president who's been impeached. And he doesn't believe in the institution, the rules and regulations of U.S. politics, because this is the first official political position that he's ever run for, that Trump has ever run for, which is unbelievable because not anybody has in the Trump Hines family dynasty has ever served in the United States military, which is really offensive to me. But when you marry into a family dynasty, or when you marry into an institution, when you accept the job of a leader of a public institution, of a public institution, especially as president of the United States. Yes.
Yeah, I forgot to do
yeah. Okay. Give me 5 minutes. Okay, so she's very nice, this lady. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here. But everything I've been going through, all these issues that I have, my identity with all this media stuff, with having battles on TV and Battle of LA and the Queen rock group and Bat of LA Canadian beer, and I might be related to the Duke of Sussex and all this stuff I've been going through. It still helps me to prove up who am I, what rules I have to follow to this institution, giving birth to a dynasty. Who am I and what is my identity and what do I have to be? Who am I and what kind of woman do I want to become? Who am I and what rules I make into this next millennial, 2020? Who am I? Who am I to become? Why can't I get a job? And then also, what do even Meghan Markle, even Kate Middleton, what do I have control over? Control. I may be king's wife, I may be the mother of his children, but I may be Princess Diana, but I still have control. CONTROL, control. I still have control. I may be divorced from the President of the United States. I may be Marva Maples. I may be Ivanka Trump, but you know what? I still have control. Control. All right, this little Queen Terry Battle from upstate New York and Syracuse. Thank you again to OCC Public Library. Thank you guys for listening to me, as well as my little talk on 2020 and this awesome goals I have for the coming new year. I know kind of touch your life. I really wanted to get a little bit more about the royals, and I'm still doing research and finding out. I'm still going through my family line, especially with Native American genealogy, as also royal dynasty, which is probably going to take me a long time. I'll probably see the royals You know, they're always in the United States, they're always traveling or whatever. It's just like, it's the celebrities. It's celebrities, you know, they're people. People are people wherever you go. People are people. Politicians are politicians. I've probably seen Obama like 1,000 times. I think I probably have seen Obama 1,000 times, but he's seen me, but I have not seen him. Anyway, this is the Queen, Terry Bow from upstate New York and Syracuse. I'm calling it Queen out, signing out. I love you guys. Thank you for my two viewers today. Thank you to Man for listening to me. Thank you for keeping my head up. It is 2020. It is a new decade. It is a new time for you to make better choices. And remember that you, male or female, gay or straight, young or old, teenager or not, you still always have CONTROL. You still always have control. All right, this is you guys, the Queen from upstate Syracuse, New York. Peace out. Much love. Deuces. Aloha. Deuces. Out. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. All right, this guys, I love you. Peace out. Much wishes, much love. Peace out. Bye.